Utah County Sheriff's deputies are trying to get to the bottom of a death that may have happened more than 20 years ago, and they're asking for our help to do it. Remains were discovered on land west of Geneva Road between Provo and Orem. That's where news specialist Andrew Adams is tonight.
Well, this area is growing quickly. You have all these neighborhoods, but just beyond here, that direction, there's vast areas of undeveloped farmland, and that's where this unsettling discovery was made.
Far from people and forgotten by time. These solitary acres of farmland are rarely visited by strangers.
The road was moist, but it was not mucky when we were here.
But there have been few stranger discoveries
The body's over this way.
than the one that brought deputies here in October.
They figured they were just cattle bones because that happens all the time on farming and ranching operations. And then they came down, and that's when they realized that they were actually human remains.
Before they rolled up on the remains, the family had found something 2 weeks earlier that made them curious.
They happened to find a little thing with the IDs and stuff with it. And I'm like, we need to call and see if he's got a missing person thing.
After coming out again, it became obvious.
I found the skull, and he was face down.
Investigators had a name from the IDs,
John Everett Booth.
and they had a body, but there was no obvious cause of death and few other answers.
There were some of the bones that were broken, but it is very likely that those were broken, again, because of the activity that came through here, particularly the mowing operation that went through.
Nobody had ever reported Booth missing, and the ID dated in 1999.
The condition of the remains, like I say, is very consistent. Had he died shortly after that he would have been there more than 2 decades now.
Only today did detectives reach Booth's relatives, who hadn't seen him since the 1970s or 80s.
I hope we can find someone so that they can have closure. And if not, he's part of our family now.
As detectives seek a positive ID, a timeline, and the reasons why another stranger found his way here long ago.
It's not an area that somebody would just go out and walk through.
They're hopeful the answers will also eventually surface.
Somebody that can tell us close to what his last steps would have been.
Again, sheriff's deputies are hoping that a timeline, perhaps if somebody knew this person, something might be able to be the key clue in this case to try to get to the bottom of it. Anybody with information is asked to call the Utah County Sheriff's Office. Andrew Adams, KSL 5 News.